You remember when Cliff signed with Alabama and there was that rumor that somebody offered him $2 million NIL money?
And we were like, there's no way.
Right.
Amoria is not worth $2 million. Who would pay anybody $2 million?
$2 million for 1 year. I mean, come on. Well, it turns out Washington is in the $2 million NIL basketball game, and they go down and get Great Osobor, who was at Utah State. Started his career at Montana State. That's important because that's where Danny Sprinkle was, and he coached Great Osobor, who he brought over from Great Britain, and now they're going to reunite at Washington. But confirmed, people have seen the documentation. He's going to get $2 million of NIL opportunities with Washington.
The staggering, all right, there are two staggering parts to this. Well, the first is not really staggering because I know myself. And I don't know if you guys will be honest with me on this one. I'd never heard of this guy till this morning.
Seems like he crossed my path at some point last March.
A guy whose first name is Great, I would have thought I had heard of, but I have not.
Just watching some late night Mountain West, seeing him, but it didn't jump out. Okay. I cannot believe he's getting this kind of money.
Well, that's the second thing that blows me away is that Washington has $2 million they can scrape together for a basketball player.
Yeah, it's like
this is not Indiana doing this or Duke doing this or North Carolina. This is Washington.
Yeah, I need this laid out to really believe it.
Yeah, I mean,
I was reading The Athletic today. Documentation has been seen.
Well, here's your problem. If you're not a problem, but if you're Mark Sears, do you not look at this? I know it's a completely different position. You're talking about somebody that can do a lot of things in the front court. But if I'm Sears, to me, like, I'm more valuable than this guy.
I think you are too, Lance, but I would also say if you're Alabama, you would love to have Sears back. Are you okay without Mark Sears, though?
You're okay, but...
Oh, I think you're better than okay, though. I mean, you're really good without Mark Sears. With that roster?
But I'm like, with Mark Sears, I feel like you can win a national championship. Without him, I mean, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just think he's that good.
No, he's a really, really good player. Trust
me. You got plenty of guards. I get that. But Mark Sears this year was special.
He's again, I'll say it, he's a national player of the year level guy. But, I mean, I don't know that I don't think Alabama paid $2 million to keep him. I think Alabama looks at the rest of that roster. No. First of all, they've spent some of that $2 million on the rest of that roster.
That's right.
But, the first $2 million coach, I think, was Nick Saban at LSU after winning a national championship. And now, if we've got our first $2 million NIL player, and it's Great Osobor, I mean, what is a quarterback going to be worth?
Yeah, what is a quarterback going to be worth? It's crazy. I didn't know Lunsford, I didn't know we had the sarcasm font in the chat, but Taylor's using it early today. From our social media platform over there. You're fine. You have Aiden Holloway, she says with an exclamation point.
Yeah.
She's just dripping with sarcasm this morning right there. All right. Lunsford.
Got a shade of blue on, by the way, too.
I just don't understand how,
they had to tap into some tech money there, right?
I guess so. I guess Washington has a robust NIL, which should bode well for their football team.
It's funny that DeBoer's never mentioned that to us. We've interviewed him 3 times for 30 minutes.
Yeah,
he's never brought up. Man, I left a place that had a robust
NIL. But maybe that was it. Maybe even I have no idea. I'm just pure speculation here. I mean, it doesn't seem like entirely too long ago where Lorenzo Romar had them a number 1 seed, but maybe they've got just a huge Washington Husky basketball fan.
Yeah, I mean, maybe so. Maybe you're right. I just look at it from a business perspective, and I'm like, all right, you've invested $2 million in this one player. How are you going to get that $2 million back out of this guy?
Yeah. Paul Allen, was he Microsoft?
He was.
Did he own?
He owned the Seahawks
and the Trailblazers.
Did he sell those?
Well, he passed, and I think his wife maybe or still has them or sold them.
Okay.
You're thinking Paul Allen might be a Washington, or he just lives.
There's a lot of tech.
He loved basketball, but there's a lot of tech up
there.
Yeah.
I'll see where Paul Allen graduated. I mean, if it's the University of Washington. Oh. Washington State. Doubtful the Allen family is helping UW.
Maybe the wife doesn't like him.
Now it says,
watch him roll up his grave. But $2 million for a Washington basketball.
You wouldn't have blinked if this was Kansas, would you?
No, not at all. That's my only point. Is like I could see Kansas like, oh, we can get the $2 million back out of it. You'll find us in the Final Four with this guy. But if you're Washington, I mean, if I said if this were a 4 downs question, more likely to happen, Washington football makes the college football playoff or Washington basketball makes the Sweet 16?
I would say football still makes playoffs.
I know. I mean, so that's my whole point.
And I didn't have them very high.
Yeah.
I got confused on the way home from the coast this weekend, and I did literally 40 and 40. I didn't do 25.
Yeah.
Because I sent you 40.
Yeah.
But I think Washington, I think they were right around 25.
Don't give away.
Okay.
We're going to do that.
I'm just saying, like, I don't
Tomorrow
have,
on the show, we're going to unveil our brackets.
I get it, but I don't have a lot of confidence in Jed Fish's first year at Washington.
Yeah, I mean, I think
don't
they could be
either.
okay,
but I
mean,
would have more confidence in that. Than
exactly.
Washington
And they just
basketball.
spent $2 million on a player, and you're like, I don't know if they make the Sweet 16. I think their football team has a better shot of making the playoffs.
So they said the finalists were Louisville and Texas Tech. Is Texas Tech? I mean, do they have to kind of be around that number?
Yeah.
I mean,
but Texas Tech has that one guy. Remember, we always talk about him, the restaurateur.
No, that's Houston.
It's Houston.
Okay. The Texas Tech's got that.
That
I don't
oil.
think I got anybody.
Always go oil when you're in Texas.
Yeah.
But I mean, Louisville, they do have a restaurateur. It's a pretty big brand. I could have seen Louisville
Yeah.
coughing up $2 million for a guy.